The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate. For the first time, we start the show in Studio B. Divorce and real estate, how do they work together? Also, you need new windows in your house. If you own one, I assure you, it's all just ahead. It's You Have Real Estate. I'm attorney Justin Clark. If you're in debt and find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, call me now or visit youhavepower.com today. Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark, for the very first time, opening the show here in Studio B on a Best of Central Florida set. Happy to do it, but listen up. If you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of it like getting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the way. Any questions whatsoever during the program, the phone number will be on the screen the entire show, 407-205-0400. Look, if you want to start your house hunt this week and you want to find your dream home, you will have to get pre-approved. Dallas Lehman is standing by at that very same phone number to get you pre-approved. You can start your house hunt this weekend. Great show ahead. You will not want to miss a single second. But first, the opening statement. Today on the program, some important topics to hit. You think about your house. You're a homeowner. What are the most important pieces to that house? Windows. I tell you, it might not be something you think about, but the windows are super important to your house. Also, if you're buying a house, even if you're going for sale by owner, do not let anyone ever convince you that you do not need an inspection. We will tell you why. And finally, if you are thinking about getting a divorce, going through a divorce, you own real estate together, how do divorce and real estate work together? All very important questions, and questions we will answer by asking real questions. Every Saturday here on the real estate program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Starting it off today, one of my good buddies, Renewal by Andersen. Dan Brigman's here. Dan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Justin. I'm glad to be here.
You brought one of your friends with you today. Now, I haven't met him. The first thing you said to me was, this is one of my top guys.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? Who is this handsome fella?
This is Eric Clay, and he is just a signature service type of guy, man. He really takes care of our customers here at Renewal by Andersen.
It's weird with windows because, all right, let's say you have a roof leak. You know you have a problem with your roof. People don't always know when they have an issue with their windows. What are some signs that I have some problems?
Well, you'll probably get both of us in on this, but I can tell you sometimes, look, we don't get up every day and just go outside and start inspecting our windows, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't.
Not me.
I'm in the business. And so we look for things, or you as a homeowner can just, you can begin to see some brown spots maybe around the window. Maybe it's not Christmas time, but your windows are still foggy. So there's some fogging going on in the windows and things like that. And then there's always that condensation or those drips of water that you may already have double pane windows, and that doesn't mean you're in the safe. So and then and sometimes in the lower portion of your home you can begin to see some buckling in the molding that goes along the floor. So Eric, am I missing some things here?
Well, I think another thing is in the summertime, we live in Florida, you see your electric bill, all of a sudden you see that bill, $300, $400, $500. That's a good sign that your windows may need to be looked at. Single pane windows are a very common thing here in Florida.
No question about it. Here's what I'm going to do for you today. I will put the QR code on the screen. Just take out your phone. All you have to do is point your phone at the QR code, and they have some special deals for you. They will literally come to your house and tell you, maybe your windows are fine. Maybe they are not, but here's what's important. You hear about solar all the time. Oh, get solar on your house, your electricity bill goes down. You don't hear people talking about windows and what it does to your electricity bill, and the way you've set it up where if someone doesn't want to pay cash, they can pay for the windows over time, very small amount per month, where they almost, if not always, pay for themselves.
Absolutely. We call it our Easy Pay program. It's made for anybody. And so when you think about your home and you think about how much you can actually save on windows, if you were to put all your windows together, it's over 50% of the wall space of your home. That's a wall and a half of your home. So when you calculate your energy savings and the low easy payment monthly plans that we have 12 months no payment, 24 months no payment with no interest, 48 months. We have great interest rates that are just blowing everybody out of the water. It's just a great decision.
And so maybe I am like, you know what, I do need to at least talk about some windows. How does that work? I mean, do you come to my house? Do you sit down? Because maybe I know I need new windows, but I don't know what I need. How does that go?
Well, I mean, all you have to do is make an appointment with our call center. We'll schedule a free consultation. We'll come down, we'll look at your windows, we'll assess what your concerns are. Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is why do you want to have your windows looked at? At Andersen, we've been around a long time, 119-year-old company. We're going to make sure that we take care of you going forward.
And the new technology that we have out now with the iPad and the augmented reality, we can actually come in your home. We can show you what things look like. We make life really easy for you. You got to be careful though. It's easy to buy.
Yes, I bet it is. And you look at resale value. If someone is looking at your home to buy versus your neighbor's home, the exact same home, if they see that your windows are brand new, beautiful, but also see your electricity bill is significantly less than your neighbor's, that does have an impact on the value of your home.
100% it does. Two things you said there, you nailed it. Curb appeal. You can have a picture in your home and it have no frame around it, and it's just a picture. But you put a nice frame around it, and now that picture, it becomes artwork.
That's right.
And so we like to consider the aesthetics of our window. We're creating artwork on the outside of your home, so when you drive by, it's noticeable. And as far as the energy bill, you're talking about a 25 to 30% reduction.
I've talked about culture before with you, and maybe it bores you when I talk about the culture of RBA, Renewal by Andersen, but I think it's important because I think, especially in the world of contracting, whether it's hiring a construction person, buying windows, hiring a roofer, the culture and the longevity, don't make fun of me, longevity, right?
Yep.
Is super important. That trust factor with who you're doing business with in the contracting world means everything.
100%. We've been in business 125 years, and Renewal by Andersen is a segment of the Andersen Corporation. We've been around since 1971, and look, at the end of the day, culture is everything to us. So we pride ourselves in people, process, and product. If any one of those is out of place, your wheel is out of balance.
That's right.
And I love working for the company for that reason.
2 ways right now to reach Renewal by Andersen. QR code on the screen, phone number on the screen, 407-205-0400. Do yourself a favor, have them come out. Let's see what is going on with your windows. But Eric, I don't know exactly what kind of windows I want or what separates your windows from the competition. Your windows are different.
They're a lot different, actually, Justin. On a decorative side, they're the best looking window on the market. You won't find a better looking window than an Andersen window. Our fixed windows, they have a beveled frame. It looks like you're looking at a picture. So if you have a nice view to your backyard, you don't like all that obstruction, maybe you got grills in your glass, we're going to get rid of all that. Maybe we'll make you a nice clear look to the backyard with a beveled frame. They're all custom made. We can design exactly to your order and how you want your windows to look in your house. That way you're going to really appreciate them. And not only that, we're going to give you a great warranty so you can sleep well at night.
I've got little kids. I have 2 young daughters, and safety is obviously important to me as a father. I mean, these old windows can be unsafe as well.
Oh, they sure can. I've lifted up windows in homes before, and it's like a guillotine. I mean, they come down, they can take off some fingers. And
that's right.
Our Fibrex patented product. It goes a long ways in helping with the durability. And so when we put a window in your home, it's not a window for today or tomorrow. It's a window for the rest of your life. And so we pride ourselves in the patented product.
Got it. How does it work? So when you do come out there ready for the install, is this a long process? Do you do it fairly quickly? How does it work?
Yeah, we can. So usually it's about anywhere between 3 and 5 windows per day on the install. But the first thing we have to do, our motto is, we treat your home as if it's our own. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to roll out the red carpet. We're going to put the plastic, polyethylene. We're going to lay this out. We're going to surgically remove your existing window. So we're going to prep the opening for the new window to go in. But before we do that, we have to make sure that the condition of the opening is ready to accept that. And once that happens, we have certified master installers that come out, and we go above and beyond Florida code when it comes to installing the window. And once that's done, an inspection takes place. But the nice thing about all of this stuff that's going on is we have somebody holding your hand the whole way through the process.
And if you, like, I'm busy, I'd probably want you to come to my house, but you do have a design studio that you can go to and check everything out as well.
Yes, we sure do. We have that over off of Lee Road and 1650 Lee Road here in Orlando. And you can actually go in and, we'll bring a sample size into your home when we come, but hey, you can go see the real deal and how the doors operate and how the windows open and how easy they are to clean and all that good stuff.
Dan Brigman, pleasure as always, buddy. Eric, great to meet you. He can come back anytime.
All right, appreciate
Good
it.
to see you, brother.
Yep.
You can bring him back anytime. He was great.
He's a good guy.
He's coming to my house soon.
doing it right now.
That's definitely happening. Renewal by Andersen. Again, QR code is on the screen, or call the phone number 407-205-0400. Highest quality, the best company out there culture-wise, if you want to ask me, but also if you don't want to stroke a big check. I understand. We all get it. They have payment plans that make it so easy to where your electricity bill is going to go like this, small payment to them. You're actually paying less per month to have brand new windows in your house. Pretty amazing stuff. Check them out today. Here's what's coming up next. We're going to go back to the old studio. We're going to talk about divorce a little bit. All right, divorce, real estate. You're in a fight. Who gets this house? Who gets that house? Who lives where? It's all just ahead as You Have Real Estate continues. Here we are, Michaela and I, one of my favorite places in all of Central Florida. One of my favorite things to do is axe throwing. It's so much fun. I love it. There's only one place we go, though. Yeah. Obviously, Stumpy's Hatchet House. Its owners are here, Matthew, Estella. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Axe throwing in general. Some people have never tried it. Why should we?
Why not? I mean, it's a great time. We have a great place here, wonderful staff. We have a wonderful beer selection. It's just good times all around.
And this place feels unbelievably homey to me. It feels cozy. It feels like I'm transported into a cabin in North Carolina or Montana or something. How did you create this?
Well, it came with a lot of hard work, some busted fingers, and a lot of trial and error. Yeah. We a lot of the natural woodwork in here. Actually, all the natural woodwork was done by myself and one other person.
And a lot of people don't think about corporate events. They think corporate events. Oh, what restaurant am I going to rent out? What ballroom? What a great place to have a corporate event, a corporate meeting.
Yeah, it's we have TVs in here, so we do have ways that if you want to do a presentation of any kind, we can accommodate that. We have a PA system, so if you even want to do a tournament with a nice, let's get this thing going and rile up the crowd, you can. We even let it to where we have a free jukebox that you can come in, pick any music you like. It's great. You have a good time.
Out. If you haven't been axe throwing yet, come to Stumpy's Hatchet House right now, or if you have a meeting coming up, Stumpy's Hatchet House is a place for you. Welcome back to the show, and look, no one wants to go through a divorce, but it's a necessary evil sometimes. I think half of us are going through a divorce or go through a divorce in our lifetime, and oftentimes we have real estate. We own a house or multiple properties together as you go through that divorce. How do you deal with it? I mean, how do you deal with real estate in a divorce? Our favorite divorce attorney in the world is here. Kene, how are you? Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you. How are you doing?
You must see fighting about real estate when it comes to divorce all the time. What are the issues you see?
All the time. The issues I see are somebody buys a property prior to divorce. They live in a house for a few years and they get divorced. Is that property subject to the court's equitable distribution? In other words, does the other spouse who didn't buy it with you have a right to the value of that house that accrued during the marriage?
It's a great question. What's the answer? I don't even know.
The answer is yes, generally speaking, for the value that accrued during the marriage.
Okay.
Now, the issue we have nowadays is over the last 2 or 3 years, the market skyrocketed, right? So there's a massive appreciation in a lot of the properties,
Right.
but is it real appreciation?
Got it.
That's a problem.
Now, often I hear about people when they break up and start the divorce process. Obviously, they lived together before, they own the house together, but they're getting a divorce. Who stays in the house and who goes?
You know, that's a good question. It depends. It depends on who spends more time with the children, who has to use the house more, and whether or not both spouses have somewhere to go.
How often do you see them stay in the same house during the divorce process?
It's more common now
Yeah.
because it's hard to buy a house.
I
Interest
see.
rates are kind of high, property values are high, and you need a large down payment, generally speaking, to move into a house, 3-4 bedrooms. So it's more common now than it was in prior years. But if it's a volatile relationship, I tell them we're gonna find somewhere to go, because that could result in domestic violence,
Sure.
injunctions, and then someone gets kicked out anyway.
Right, exactly. Are there ever times where a judge has to make a decision about who can stay in the house? Is that question ever presented to a judge?
Always comes
Okay.
up, and that could be a motion for temporary relief before a final hearing. And the factors the court looks at are things such as who has the capability of staying somewhere else, who cares for the children more often, who has to take them to school and back, how disruptive would it be if the children have to live somewhere else, financial resources and things of that nature.
Yeah. Let me ask this question. So let's say that let's use the husband here, for example. The husband's mom passed away several years ago, left him a house free and clear. Husband then goes and gets married to someone, then we get divorced. How do we deal with that situation where a house that was gifted to me?
If it's gifted prior to the marriage, it's a premarital asset.
Okay.
Generally, it belongs to the person who received the gift. If it's gifted during the marriage, it could still be the asset of that person, depending on what happens. If there's commutation, meaning that both spouses do something to appreciate the value of that house, it could become marital.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so if it turns into a investment property for both of them, and they both help improve it, they both invest money into it, then it becomes a marital asset to a certain extent.
So let's say we get divorced and the judge says it's all equitable distribution, meaning the wife is going to pay me $50,000 for the equity in the house, but I'm going to stay in the house. But wife doesn't have $50,000 sitting around. Is there ever a way to negotiate that where we can still resolve it, but she doesn't have 50 grand to pay me?
I've seen people make installment payments. I've seen an exchange of, let's say, money that's owed for spousal support be an exchange for equity that needs to be paid.
Right.
There could be an exchange of a different asset or debt, so that in lieu of the equity being paid. So you can be creative in mediation or in negotiations, but when it comes to being in court, the judge has to do what 61.075 says.
Yeah.
That is the statute. They can only do so much. So when it comes to equitable distribution, you really should aim at working it out before you go in front of a judge, especially with this real estate climate.
Yeah.
Because it could leave two individuals without a real place to live again.
Absolutely.
Renting. And rent is generally more expensive than mortgages that were established 5-10 years ago.
No doubt about it. And finally today, the old, our all favorite one that, well, husband and wife are both on the mortgage. Wife is going to move out. Husband's going to refinance within 3 months or 6 months or 30 days or whatever. 6 months comes by, husband hasn't refinanced yet. He says, well, my credit's not good. I'm working on my credit. I can't refinance yet. How do we deal with that in court?
I try to build in a clause that gives a time frame that says refinance has to occur XYZ amount of months. And if it doesn't, then the parties will either readdress the issue or the house gets placed on the market and then it's sold. I've had cases where people come to me and the final judgment or the agreement doesn't have a time limit on it, and judges are like, well, if it doesn't have a time limit, I can't make you do something that's not in a document.
Right.
So it's important that you put time limits in there for refinancing so that you don't get left with an unenforceable agreement.
Excellent. Excellent stuff today. Great job, Kene. We'll
thank
see you
you.
soon, man. Keep
All
up
right,
the good
thanks a
work,
lot.
helping
Thanks a lot.
families out
Absolutely.
left and right. If you have any questions about divorce, period, but especially how to deal with your real estate in a divorce case, Kene is the man. 407-205-0400. Quick break. You have real estate continues. Do I ever have a very special gift for you today? Compliments our good friends over at Universal Roof and Contracting. 15% off your roofing job. The roof is the most important part of your house. No doubt about it. Welcome my good friends as always, Justin and Corey. How are you today?
Good, man, good. Thank you.
Roof is the most important part of the house, but sometimes deciding who your roofing company is going to be is the most important decision as well. Culture is everything. When determining who's going to do your roofing job, Universal, the culture over there blows me away. Trustworthy. Tell me about the culture at Universal.
Yeah, I mean, 30 years in the making, right? Family-owned, veteran-owned, same name and ownership over the past 3 decades. We're so proud to be so rooted in Orlando, and we have offices in Jacksonville and Southwest Florida, but the honest approach, the integrity we carry, working transparently with insurance companies and homeowners alike. I mean, we approach roofing the way an honest company really should.
Trusted by some of the biggest sports teams in Florida as well.
That's right. That's right. We this past season we were the one of the partners with the Jacksonville Jaguars, which was awesome. They had a great season this year too. And then just coming next month, the XFL, the Orlando Guardians. We are the official roofer for the Orlando Guardians, so we're excited to go out to those games and see everybody there. So it'll be great.
A roof can be expensive. You've created great programs to make this roof not cost prohibitive for me.
Yeah, I mean, last thing we're going to do is take food off people's plates to afford a roof. So we have a ton of flexible financing plans that just keeps things very liquid for homeowners, even if they don't want to use their own money, even if they have it at the time, you know, so we offer that as well for every roof replacement.
I have this QR code on the screen right now. Get your phone out or go to their website, but the QR code will go directly to Justin and Corey, and literally you get 15% off. But guys, you're going to come to my house and tell me what I really need, honestly.
Absolutely, yeah. Free inspection, first of all. It does cost nothing for us to come out. We're going to sit down with you, hear what you like about your roof, what you don't like about your roof, what problems you've had, and come up with a custom scope of work that makes sense for you.
Always a pleasure to see you both. There's only one company we trust when it comes to roofing. That is Universal Roof and Contracting. And finally today, and we haven't done this very much on this show, I'm a little disappointed in myself for not talking about inspections more than we have. Because when you're buying a house, maybe that inspection is the most important thing you can do to make sure you're not buying a lemon. Because once you buy the house, most of the time that house is yours, no matter what happens. I am pleased to be joined. John Bolderson is here, Jennifer Jones, Platinum Home Inspections. Guys, welcome to the show. How are you?
Excellent, thank you.
Well, look, I've been looking for a house for a while. I finally got my dream home. I'm not gonna get an inspection. I'm paying cash. I don't really need it. It looks good to me. How's that for an idea?
Not good. Definitely advise you not to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big investment. You highly recommend getting it evaluated, checked out to make sure I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and that you're not buying that lemon, as you say.
And a lot of times as the home buyer, we're just sort of relying on our real estate agent to tell us which inspection to get. I think we probably should be more informed as buyers, as consumers out there, which inspection you need, what you really need to be inspecting. And there are a few different options, I guess, when it comes to getting a home inspected, but what should I really be looking for? What do I need to hire you for?
So definitely a fantastic question. So depending on what the property consists of, I mean, if there's a pool and spa, that's probably a good idea to get the pool and spa inspected. If you have, if you're mortgaging the home, it's probably a good idea that you looking at a 4-point in a wind mitigation, potential deductions from your homeowner's insurance.
Sure.
There's sewer scoping and potential issues with sewer lines, we can inspect those. Potential an odor of musky odor in the home, we can look at a mold test. So there's lots of things we could provide and definitely help out based on what your house consists of.
All right, and when you first come to my house, am I going to have a conversation with you? I mean, are you going to kind of advise me which inspection I should get? How does it work?
Another great question. So yeah, you know, first off, we're going to start with a verbal conversation. That phone conversation is going to assist. Okay, what's the square footage of your house? Where is it? What type of items are in the home? Do you have a pool and spa? Do you have a sewer scope? Are you mortgaging the home? We talk about the 4-point and wind mitigations to the client, explaining that to them, how it's beneficial to have that, and rather do it the first time around rather than doing it on the backside, because now we have an additional trip charge as well.
Exactly.
So these are all things we talk about right up front.
And Jennifer, when you start talking about buying a house, $500,000, $300,000, $1 million, I'm spending on this house. An inspection is relatively inexpensive. Even if I'm getting the Cadillac of inspections, this is worth every penny.
Definitely, absolutely, worth every penny.
So we're talking about sometimes $400 or $500, or if I want to get a lot more, maybe up to $1,000. But we're talking about the biggest investment of our life that we're going to owe money likely on this house, or worse yet, you're paying cash. Like if you're paying cash, no one's there to police you to make sure you're getting an inspection. And that's when you should, because now the risk is all you. And I also see when it comes to inspections, for sale by owner, right?
Yeah.
I've been renting this house for 6 years. Now the owner is willing to sell it to me. Justin, can you draft up a contract for me? I don't want an inspection. I don't need anything. I've always wanted to buy a house. Maybe no better time than to get an inspection. And then, in fact, when a client approaches me to draft up a contract for them, no one ever talks about the inspection. I will always tell them, you need to get an inspection. You must see for sale by owners too. We just ignore this.
No, absolutely. You guys would be surprised how often people don't think they need the inspection, and once they get on the phone with us, we have to talk them into it to some extent. You know, and it starts with the base conversation. Oh, I might not need the inspection, and we start diving in a little bit deeper. Let me explain why. You don't want to buy the lemon. You might have to replace the roof. You might have a leak in the plumbing. So there's a lot of issues that come, and you wouldn't believe the amount of issues we find in these homes.
Absolutely. And then once that inspection is done, oftentimes you are going to find things that can be a problem. And at that point, I have a report. You're going to give me a report, and I can go back to the seller and possibly even renegotiate at times. Do you see that ever?
I see it every day, literally. So 100%. The reports we're providing too, they're very detail-oriented. You have a lot of detailed pictures explaining things in depth, why this is an issue and why it needs to be replaced or fixed or what have you. So our reports are definitely full of information, quality information to help you make the best decision.
Do you ever think it's a good idea before I list my house for sale to have an inspection myself before I even list it?
Absolutely. Pre-listing inspection.
Yep, 100%. So yeah, we do provide pre-listing inspections, and we definitely recommend them. And we have one brokerage that we work with. I'm not going to say the name out loud. I wouldn't want to do that to them. But nevertheless, every listing they have, we do an inspection for them. So there are the pre-listing inspections provided.
And the reason is because if you list your house for sale, someone's going to make an offer, you're going to get down the road almost to closing, and they're going to see something major wrong with your house. And it prolongs the sales process forever when you could have seen that before. I mean, to me, there's a bunch of inspection companies out there, but not all super trustworthy. I mean, Platinum Home Inspection has been around for a while, and you know what you get when you hire Platinum Home Inspection. You're going to get the real, unbelievable, great treatment, but most importantly, what I see on that report is what it is. And it's important. I mean, it's important when you're buying a house to know what's going on.
For sure.
Awesome job.
Hey,
keep
thanks
up
for having us.
Keep up the great work. We're going to do this again. Can we do this again, please?
Please do.
I think having
Absolutely.
an inspection company on the show is going to be very important. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Most importantly, thank you for joining us today and every weekend on You Have Real Estate. If you want to get pre-approved, start that house hunt right now. Dallas Lehman is standing by 407-205-0400. I'm attorney Justin Clark. We'll see you next week for more You Have Real Estate.
Have you been threatened by the IRS? You are not helpless. You have the power to fight wage garnishments and fight levies on your accounts. I'm Justin Clark. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life.
You can be an agent that struggles to get ahead in the competitive real estate world, or you can learn from the best and achieve success. Visit youhaveafutureinrealestate.com and sign up for the Jumpstart program. Get coaching tips and important tools that will help you jumpstart your real estate career. Sign up today and get 10% off your Jumpstart program when you use code word LEARN. Visit youhaveafutureinrealestate.com today and gain the real estate knowledge you need to succeed.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.